So you didn't do a whole big huge full moon ritual with all the bells and whistles. Does it make you less of a witch? No, no. Last night was a full moon and Friday the 13th. And here's the ritual I did because I was worn out. Do you have to do a huge ritual? You don't. So let's talk about that.
I'm Mickey Mueller. Welcome to my studio.
If you're new here, I'm Mickey Mueller, author, illustrator, and witchy woman. I come here about once a week to bring you spells, witchy tips, and tricks for living your magical life. And today, I want to talk to you about why I didn't upload a video sooner this week and why people feel like they need to be guilty or something if they don't do a huge crazy full moon ritual with like 13 maidens in white and 42 candles burning and under a white rose bush. You don't have to do all that. Here's the thing, we do the best that we can all the time, but some days the best that we can is the same as other days, okay? It doesn't make you a bad witch if you didn't do a gigantic full moon ritual or a gigantic Sabbath ritual or anything like that. If you haven't done any magic in a month, it also doesn't make you a bad witch. I'm not buying that concept. Your magic is what you have inside of you, all right? It's what you take with you everywhere you go. Am I even recording? Yeah, I am. Oh, it's who you are on the inside. It's what you feel. It's so much deeper than lighting a candle or doing a spell, We try to bring magic into everything that we do every day. I know I do, and I bet a lot of you guys out there do too. I had plans to do a video earlier this week, and I still owe you guys this video. I'm going to do one about spell candles, about a spell candle magic technique using birthday candles to make them into a super powerhouse. It's a technique I wrote about in a Magical Almanac article, and I wanted to share it with everybody because it's a really cool technique. But to be honest, I just got worn out this week. I had a ton of stuff going on. I just, every single day in my planner, I write down what I'm doing that day, and then I cross stuff off the list as I go down the list. And then whatever's left over, I move that over onto the next day. And then I get up in the morning, I'm like, okay, I still need to do these things, and then I have to add more things. Well, this week, it seemed like instead of my list getting shorter, it just got longer and longer and longer. I had a lot of crazy stuff happening. And actually, I've had crazy stuff happening for the last couple of weeks. Like lots of things kind of breaking down in my life. I had to put my car in the shop. That was a thing. I can't even go over the litany of madness that I had going on. And then in the middle of that, I also have, a shop that I'm running, my Etsy shop, family, taking care of my family. And those things are super important to me too. They're just as important as work because, love ranks really high up there for me. So, it's been a heck of a time. And, I really wanted to get that video up, and I just haven't had the time or the energy because I've been putting it into a lot of other stuff. So I will probably get to that early next week and have it for you next week. But what I want to talk to you guys about today is this full moon that just passed. And if you do have the energy and the time and the resources to put into doing a big, fantastic full moon ritual, I highly recommend that you do. It's wonderful. I've done a bunch like that. I've had rituals where my altar, a big table altar, is just like creaking because I've got every freaking thing on there. I've got all the statues and candles blazing, and I've got a fully written out ritual where I'm cast the big circle and I'm calling in all of the elements, and very formal with all of the bells and whistles happen. I've done this on my own for just me because I wanted to, and it was lovely. I've done that with covens that I was involved with. I've done that with big public rituals at festivals that I've been to and things like that, where, you know, we literally had, you know, tons of people. Classes that I've taught. I taught a Celtic tree calendar class for a year, and every single class ended with a big ritual that we all performed together. And it's really fun. It's very enjoyable. It's very magical. But the truth is, we're just human, and there are some times where there's a big Sabbath or a big astronomical event or even just a full moon, and you just don't have it in you for whatever reason. You're out of everything. You're just tapped out. And so for whatever reason, you just don't feel like you have it in you to, you know, do a big thing. It doesn't make you any less of a witch. And that's what I feel like it's really important to tell you. It doesn't make you any less of a witch if you don't have it in you to do the big thing, you know? It's not about that, you know? We get so worked up over these things, and it's just not. It's just not. What I planned on doing last night for the full moon and what I ended up doing were different, and it changed like every hour, you guys. It was like I had this plan, you know, of doing this big thing, and I was like, wouldn't this be cool? And you know, that kind of, you know, I had a lot of other things going on, so that kind of went by the wayside. Shortly before dinner time, I had this brilliant idea that I had, you know, had figured out I was going to do a really small ritual. It wasn't going to be a big thing. And I had decided that I was going to bring my little setup outside on the back porch and talked with you guys last night under the full moon about doing a full moon ritual that wasn't huge. Just doing a very small, simple, stripped down, bare bones, but yet powerful full moon ritual. And that was kind of my plan. And then I noticed my dog was shaking her head like crazy, and her ears looked a little wonky. One was like weird, you know, at a weird angle. And then I got to looking at her ear, and she let me kind of look inside of her ear, and I think she got stung by a wasp yesterday. So she had scratched the heck out of the inside of her ear. It was swollen, and it was hot to the touch, and she looked miserable. She just had this sad little look on her face. And I felt bad because I think it happened in the afternoon. I think I know when it happened because I noticed her shaking her head really hard outside. And I thought, oh, a fly buzzed in her ear or something. Well, I don't think that was the case. So we're giving her Benadryl, which is always fun to try to give a dog, you know, trying to work that out, rushing dinner in the middle of worrying about her and everything else. One thing led to another, and I was like, no, not even a video is going to happen tonight. I was lucky to just get outside for 5 minutes and spend a little time just talking with Mama Moon. And that's what I did, you know. I already kind of had a little thing set up. Hang on, I'll show you. I had my tiny cauldron, my little bitty cauldron, and I had my little white tea light candle, hardcore witch that I am, right? Sitting in here, and I think I put lavender oil on that, if I remember right. I'm still kind of tired, so I'm still kind of, I'm not even sure. I was digging around in a drawer, looking for, this is just like little things, you know, looking for some UV stickers to put on the window to keep birds from hitting the window for a friend of mine who's having that problem. When I lived in the country, I used these UV stickers, and they worked fairly well for us. And so when my friend told me that she was having problems with bird strike on her windows, and that's, you know, you don't want the birds to be hurt, I was like, oh wait, I think I have a solution for you. And I grabbed that, so I went digging through the drawer, and when I was digging through the drawer, and it was kind of cool because it was Friday the 13th, I found this horseshoe that I have had forever, and I haven't hung it up since we moved to this new house. And I thought, Well, it's a full moon on Friday the 13th, a day which is kind of associated with thinking about luck and things like that, because that's just what we as humans have applied to Friday the 13th. You know, it wasn't always that way. But that's another story for another day. You know, I don't personally think that Friday the 13th is an unlucky day. For me, it's a lucky day because Friday is named for Freya and Freya's day, and she is a goddess of love. But, you know, so Freya's day is for love and that kind of magic, and I've been thinking a lot about caring about my friends, and actually some Etsy customers that needed some extra help because they were going through some hard stuff while we were going through some hard stuff here too. That's another thing. One of our pieces of equipment broke down this week, and we ordered a part so that we could make our mugs and our tea for one. A little teapot, a little cup that's stackable. They're super cute. Anyway, one of our pieces of equipment broke down. Ugh, see, I'm so tired I can hardly even talk. We ordered the part, which they said would be like 2 days, and I had ordered it, I think, on a Saturday. So I figured, well, it ship out Monday, should be here Tuesday, Wednesday. It showed up on Friday. So all those orders were late. So Dan and I have been hustling all week trying to, you know, do catch up. And then yesterday it was big time catch up, trying to catch up with, you know, those orders and stuff. Anyway, I don't even know what I was talking about. It happens. So anyway, I dug through the drawer and I found this, and so I thought, well, that would be a good thing to use as part of the ritual. So I thought, okay, I've got my little candle, and I got this, which I thought I'll bless that under the full moon for luck, and I'm going to decorate this and hang it over my front door. The other thing that's neat about a horseshoe is it's a symbol of the goddess because it looks like a crescent moon. So it's believed that if you hang it this way, the luck will fall out, but if you hang it this way, the luck will fill up. So that's a little folklore for you there. So this was literally my setup, and it's just on this my little wood altar top thing that is just really handy, and I can take it with me wherever I go. So, and then I have, these are little bits of Rose of Sharon that I sprinkled around, because I've got one blooming in my backyard. It came up, it was a volunteer. It grew in the backyard. I didn't plant it, and I think it's lovely. And so I took one of the blossoms that had fallen, and I spread the little petals out and let them dry and cut them up, and I'm using them in magic. They're good for healing. They're good for the kind of stuff that I have, like inflammation and things that I deal with because of my Hashimoto's. And so I thought, hey, that's a perfect thing to add because I want to do, you know, some self-healing for me and things like that. So I did that and threw a little crystal on there. It's super simple. This is not even a big deal. It was just, that's it. And here's what I did, you guys. I popped out back. I set that little thing that I had already set up like hours before. I had set it up, and I just literally, I mean, I don't know how late. It was late. It was late. I posted a picture of it actually on Instagram, so you guys can look and see what time I posted that. I don't even know. But yeah, I was just exhausted. So I went out, I popped out back. I carried that out with me. I lit the candle, and I sat on the porch, and I asked the moon to give me her blessings, you know? I asked her to help me work through some of the stuff that I've been challenged with over the last, 9 years, and further back too, just to release all of the things that I need to release to keep growing and things like that. It was pretty simple. It wasn't written down. I didn't have any pomp and circumstance. It was literally the moon and I having a conversation. I asked her to please bless the horseshoe so that I can hang it over my door and bless my home. I did carry out a bottle of moon water, and again, I just did a really simple blessing with the moon water and set it on the porch. And other than that, it was just me taking 5 minutes out of my evening to just take a moment and look up and see the moon, that full moon. You know that that I've watched since I was a little kid. And, I remember being in the car and thinking that the moon was following me and that maybe I was special because it seemed like the moon was following me. And I think a lot of other people have experienced that too. So yeah, there's been times throughout my life when I was sad or where I was happy or where I was at a crossroads and I needed to decide what to do and how to move forward. And I would invariably end up outside looking up. And during those times, I would talk to the moon. And I would thank her for my blessings if I was happy. And I would tell her my problems if I was sad. And I would ask for guidance and signs if I felt like I was at a crossroads and I needed help. And it was never poetic, but it was always beautiful because it's an exchange, when you're talking to the moon, you're talking to part of yourself, really, because we're part of the universe and the universe is in all of us. So what we're really talking to is an aspect of who we are. Are we getting divine guidance? Are we getting our own guidance? Or is that the same thing? Perhaps. But my point is, no matter what you believe, no matter how you practice, there's no rule that says you have to do a huge spell or you have to do a huge ritual for everything that happens. Because you absolutely don't have to do that. Magic isn't about the things that we have. And I mean, okay, we're witches, we do collect stuff. Believe me, I've got a ton of ritual tools. I've got like several ritual blades, athame, athame, however you want to pronounce it. It's different, pronounced differently in different regions, I've got, several altar tile pentacles. I've got god and goddess statues out the wazoo. I've got, a ridiculous amount of incense and candles stashed all over my house, and crystals. I don't even know where they all are. They're just in every corner of my house. They're all over the darn place. Anybody who's ever been to my house knows that's a thing. So yeah, but it's really, and because we like collecting these things and they're fun, but it's really not about the things. It's really not. It's really just about what's in here. And, I don't want people to think, whether you're new to the practice or whether you've been doing it for a lot of years, don't feel like because you don't have time or because you don't have money or because you're just worn out from life that you can't do some kind of recognition of a full moon or some kind of simple spell to help your day be better. Or that you can't recognize a Sabbath because you don't have all the things, It's just not the case. We can celebrate these things in the smallest way, but that can sometimes make the biggest impact because at the end of the day, the magic that we do is to make our lives better. And especially to do that inner transformation that we all, work towards in our practice. So, that's what's important, you guys. It's not about having the right things or saying the right words or any of that. It's about your intention. Not doing a huge full moon ritual does not make you less of a witch. And, you don't even have to bring the stuff outside that I brought to do your ritual. You don't even have to have a candle. I'm here to tell you, one time I did a ritual and it was just a spur of the moment. I was a single mom. I was working. I had gotten off at work that day. It was a full moon, and I needed it. I needed some magic really badly because I had a lot of things going on in my life at the time. And I went outside with a stick of incense and one little stone. I can't remember, it was either a rose quartz or a moonstone that I held in my hand, and a stick of incense. And I lit that incense and I walked outside. I had just changed out of my work clothes. and I had my bare feet, and I popped out to the backyard, and I sat down in the middle of the yard, and I stuck that stick of incense in the ground in front of me, and I looked up at the moon. And I am not even kidding when I tell you, we had such a talk, she and I, that I felt her, I drew down the moon. I felt her come into me. I felt the goddess inside of me. And it was transforming. It was life-changing. It was amazing. You can do magic without all of the stuff. Enjoy the stuff if you have it. Definitely do. But for new witches, I want you to understand that if you don't have every tool, it doesn't mean that you can't start. Okay? Make do with what you have around the house. Look around and see what you have, because part of being a witch is being creative. If you're a witch like me who's been doing it for like 20-something years, and you're just worn out, or you don't know where your stuff is, you can't find that one thing that you want for your ritual or your spell, do it anyway. Stop worrying so much about the things, you know? We love the things. The things are fun. And I'm not going to stop collecting the things, and you're not going to stop collecting the things either. But you don't have to. But just remember what the things are. They're just symbols, all right, of what we have inside. They're extensions. We charge them with our energy, and that is what gives them the power, you know, to be a ritual item, a ritual tool, is the fact that we give it that power. So we have to remember the source of our magic. And the source of our magic isn't the best crystal that you can find, and it isn't a ritual robe. The source of your magic is not the $200 statue that you bought. And I'm saying this as someone who designs statues, okay? This is part of my job. But and enjoy those things, because I do, and you should too. But the source of your magic is not those things. The source of your magic is right here. And it's right here. Okay. My phone is in low power mode too. I'm in low power mode. My phone is in low power mode. That's what I record all my videos on, because I'm super fancy. If all you have is yourself and the moon, that's a full moon ritual if you make it that. Okay? So think about this next time that you have just gotten so busy that you've forgotten it's a full moon. Don't worry about it. Just go do it. Just go do it. Just talk to the moon. Or just sit quietly with the moon and feel the energy of the moon flowing over you. That's okay too. I feel like this has been a good talk, you guys. Let me know what you guys did for the full moon. Let me know if you did one of those big, fun, awesome rituals with a bunch of friends. Haven't done one of those in a long time. I think I'm about due to do one again. Let me know if you did a small solitary ritual, or if you did a bare bones ritual like I did. I'm interested to hear how your full moon went. And I mean, I don't want to say that it was a terrible week. I had a lot of good things happen this week. I had the opportunity to create some spell elements for a really good friend of mine and help her out, and that makes me super happy. I had the opportunity to help out another local metaphysical gal who's making orgonite. Her business is called Orgonite Pure, and she made this gorgeous piece, which I'm just in love with. And I actually put that next to my bed last night to kind of try to help me sleep. But she does really nice work. I made her a brand new logo, and she's out vending at a festival today. So I made her a logo, and then Dan printed her a flag so that she would have a display to put up, because it's a brand new business. So you know what, it makes me feel really good to help new people like that. And she does such nice work and is such a nice person, and so I got to meet her yesterday on the full moon night too, as the moon was coming up. Another really cool thing that happened this week is my friend Mint Fairy, who has a fantastic YouTube channel, and probably everybody that's watching this has already heard of her because she's freaking awesome. But if you haven't, that's her. Go check her out. She's got some amazing videos. And she gave me a shout out on her video, and you could have knocked me over with a feather. I was sitting on the couch with my husband with my earbuds in, watching the video, and I just started going, laughing like a loon because I didn't expect to see my face pop up on her video. It just blew my mind. She's got a heart of gold, and she's very wise. She's got a great Zen kind of vibe, but she's also like super no nonsense and will just tell you like it is. She's just a cool, 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 cool girl. So check her out too. So yes, it was an amazing, good week. It was just a super busy week. It was hectic, and I felt like I ran and ran and ran, and still haven't finished my list, you guys. But coming and doing a video for you is also on my list. So this is it. I can check that off my list now too. And this was an important topic that I felt like I really wanted to talk to you guys about. You might be able to hear Freya barking down there. I think she must be feeling better. I will be back again really soon with that birthday candle powerhouse video. You know what? There's a big, beautiful, bright moon tonight. So if you didn't get a chance to last night, go out and talk to her tonight. Magic is what you make of it, right? I've got a long night ahead of me. My son is going to see a concert down on Del Mar, the Loop, which is like the coolest part of St. Louis, I think. So it's going to be a late night for me because I'm driving. But I'm going to go down there and probably bring my tablet and sit in a diner and have a burger on the gluten-free bun that I'm bringing from home. Thanks again for stopping by. It's kind of interesting. I was feeling really worn out and tired, but getting on here and chatting with you guys, I can feel a little more energized now, so maybe I can face the rest of my day. Thanks as always for coming and visiting me in my studio, and I will see you next time. Till then, remember to always be your magic. Bye, guys.